Another popular question that we have taped today is full suite or best of breed. What are your views about those options?
Yeah, look, it's a great question, and there is no one right answer. I fib. There is a one right answer for every company, and I can't obviously can't answer it for every company, but every company needs to answer it for themselves. And what might be the answer one day may not be the answer the next day. So we always need to balance the advantages and the disadvantages of each of them. Some of the advantages of a single system, a full suite system, it's easy to buy. You're only dealing with one vendor, so usually that vendor response is actually, no, I wouldn't say it was better, but it's you only have a single point of contact, or what's with a single vendor. In many cases, the way that the infrastructure is working within the system means that the data flow, the integration across different functions has already been established. Whereas if you're using a best of breed combination, you are building many of those connections. But in my view, the disadvantages in many cases outweigh. It is a one size fits none. Now, I spent many times of my life trying to change an HR process to fit a technology. In fact, a study that was done back in 2019 showed that over 50% of respondents said that the technology has changed their process 50% or more. So they're changing processes, not to the optimal process, but to the process that has been deemed as optimal by a process engineer as part of the system. They also don't let customization. The argument's the same as they used to be. You customize, you pay. Once you tailor it, you would have the options to integrate upgrades and all sorts of things. I think the biggest problem with the integrated or the full suite systems is that today they are taking up the lion's share of the budget, but they are not solving the lion's share of the problems. In the old days, because that's what we did, we spent the disproportionate, a very large amount of the budget into these systems. And today, we're still doing that. In my mind, a full suite is good as a central system, but best of breed to understand the key problems that you need to solve is more important for business. And I believe that this is where companies can achieve their competitive advantage, because it's not the presence of a technology or a particular technology or not. It is the way that they have designed the ecosystem specifically to either solve key problems for them or their industry, or to leverage opportunities in their market. So it does require greater skill set on the part of HR and a better working relationship with IT and a different view and approach from IT. But we are able to find a tool that will solve the most meaningful, the most costly, the most opportunistic problems. Implementation tends to be quicker, and they usually can customize depending on what we need. Integration can be difficult. The whole notion that data must be integrated to report on does not work. The APIs, everything that we can do these days, data flow is manageable. It may be a little more challenging, but generally speaking, it is possible today. It may not have been sort of a decade ago, but definitely is today. And of course, you're managing multiple vendors rather than managing over one. So it just depends. If you've got a workplace that with very low skill set in the HR department around managing vendors, and an IT department that prefers single vendors, they're trying to consolidate to manage cost, that might be the best solution for that company. Another company may decide, that they want to go down the best of breed to solve key problems that are typical in their industry, and if they can solve them, then they will offer them a competitive advantage against competitors. It depends, is the answer. It really depends.